Now, this is one single extraction. What if you have serial extractions? What if you have two molars side by side, or you have a molar and a premolar, or multiple incisors? The principle is usually the same, but don't be a robot. It doesn't mean that every extraction socket is going to look the same, because this extraction socket for a molar was very appropriate for an X suture. What happens when you extract multiple side-by-side lower incisors? And those are periodontally involved teeth with severe bone loss. You extract these teeth, the extraction is pretty simple, but as you extract them, you have excessive tissue. Let's call it flabby tissue. So you have a couple of options. You can do nothing. You can put some bone graft in there, not even suture, because you really didn't reflect the flap. It's going to heal, but it's going to heal with a flabby ridge with excessive tissue, and you're going to have an issue later on when you place your implant because the tissue is not how you want it to be. That's one option that I don't recommend. And the doctors on this training that have the aspiration to be excellent at suturing, there's another way to do it. There's another way to get a nice result where you can suture in primary closure, primary intention healing, getting rid of the aesthetic tissue without cutting it away, without needing to worry about it later on. So how do we do it? So here is the flabby ridge right from the occlusal surface. You can see, you can almost know that this tissue is just moving all over the place. So I wanted to empower you to loosen up the tissues for closure. It's okay to make incisions. It's okay to release tissue every once in a while. And in this type of situations, I make a diagonal incision where the papilla used to be. Why am I doing this? Because then I can almost split the papilla in half. Each papilla has its own mobility, and I can start experimenting with mobilizing the papilla and almost like taking your hands and crossing your fingers together, both hands, almost like a prayer. And then the only thing you need to do after your grafting, you need to place simple interrupted sutures, 5-0, because these are small tissues, so you need to use small needles and small sutures, and you'll get primary closure for the most part. What does it mean? You'll have faster healing, better patient experience. I always recommend you start from the middle, okay, kind of split the difference. So if you have a full extent of a, let's call it a surgical site, the area that will be in most tension is going to be in the middle. Then you split the difference again until everything is stable. You can also add some periacryl on top of it. Check out the healing 1 week later. I'm almost amazing myself. Not that I'm such a genius or so great at this. It's very simple to do. All I needed to do is create a couple of incisions, full thickness incisions, release those papilla carefully, align them well so they connect with one another and close the gap. And within a week, you have this type of closure, and then it's going to heal great, within 2-3 weeks. No problem whatsoever. Simple enough. And we call this the prayer technique in lingo, because this is what's happening. Those papillae are connecting like prayer. And I believe in the power of prayer. I'm a spiritual person. And whichever your belief is, prayer is, I feel, is very helpful. And we just call it the prayer technique. Give us some positive vibes. So just to repeat this technique from in another case, here is, again, lower incisors extracted because of a periodontal condition. We have the flabby ridge. We create a couple of diagonal incisions, splitting the papilla, releasing them, doing the grafting with your bone graft of choice, with a collagen plug, finding where those papillae are going to fit and fit like a prayer, connect them with simple interrupted sutures. You're getting literally a primary closure. You're getting the attached tissue. We're not compromising the attached tissue by doing so. We pray a little bit. Why not? And then you get just a beautiful ridge within 2-3 weeks. So what's the formula here? The key is to split the papilla and release and mobilize the tissue. Align it so it fits like a prayer gesture. simple interrupted with gut 5-0, and then you pray.